In the world of birds, every brilliant feather, every elaborate dance, and every unusual beak or tail is the result of a tough process of natural selection. Some species turn courtship into a perfectly timed performance. Others survive thanks to abilities that seem almost impossible. And some are so beautiful that their existence feels like a fragile miracle of nature. Today, I will introduce you to 12 of the rarest and most beautiful birds in the world. The final species on this list may go far beyond what most of us imagine. Let us take a look. Coming in at number 12 is the Mandarin Duck. The Mandarin Duck shows a dramatic difference between male and female. The male looks dazzling, almost like he is wearing a colorful tuxedo, while the female has duller colors that help her stay hidden while incubating eggs. Instead of nesting near water like many ducks, they often build nests inside tree cavities. When the ducklings hatch, they must leap from the tree hollow to the ground before following their mother to the water. This famous survival jump is common among birds that nest high above the ground. In East Asian culture, Mandarin ducks symbolize love and loyalty, but in the wild, many pairs stay together only during the breeding season. At number 11 is Hyasin Macaw. The Hyasin Macaw is the largest flying parrot in the world. Its powerful beak can crack extremely hard palm nuts that many animals cannot open. Some have even been seen eating palm nuts after they pass through the digestive system of cattle, which softens the shell. Their calls carry over long distances, and they usually live in stable pairs. Because they rely on large tree cavities for nesting, deforestation threatens both their food supply and their breeding sites. At number 10 is Victoria Crowned Pigeon. The Victoria Crowned Pigeon is an unusual member of the pigeon family and one of the largest pigeons on Earth. It lives mostly on the forest floor in the rainforests of New Guinea and nearby islands. These birds move slowly but remain highly alert. Their most striking feature is the lace-like crest on their head that looks like a crown. They also play an important ecological role by eating forest fruits and spreading seeds throughout the rainforest, helping the forest regenerate. They reproduce slowly and depend heavily on old forests. At number 9 is rainbow lorikeet. The rainbow lorikeet mainly feeds on nectar, pollen, and soft fruits. Its tongue has a brush-like tip that helps collect pollen and drink nectar efficiently. Because of this, the bird often becomes a natural pollinator as it moves from flower to flower. It is also a highly social species, often gathering in noisy flocks and adapting well to cities, parks, and gardens with flowering trees. Globally, it is usually classified as a species of least concern, but in Western Australia it is considered a pest, and releasing it into the wild is restricted in many areas. At number 8 is flamingo. Flamingos act like natural water filters in salty wetlands. Their specialized beaks allow them to filter algae, plankton, and tiny crustaceans while feeding upside down in the water. Their pink color does not appear at birth. It mainly comes from carotenoids in their diet, and richer food makes their feathers brighter. Standing on one leg is not just for show. Research suggests it helps regulate body temperature and allows them to rest while using very little energy. Both parents can also feed their chicks with crop milk, a nutrient-rich fluid produced in their digestive tract. At number 7 is Bluethroatated Macaw. The Bluethroatated Macaw lives in a very small area and is found almost only in the Beni savanna of north-central Bolivia. For years it was believed to have disappeared until it was rediscovered in 1992, becoming a symbol of both hope and warning for conservation. Today it is classified as critically endangered, with only a few hundred individuals left in the wild. One of the biggest challenges for the species is nesting space. They need large, old tree cavities, which are becoming rare because of habitat changes and cattle ranching. Conservation groups have even installed artificial nest boxes to help them reproduce. Every breeding season is now a race against the loss of their natural home. At number 6 is northern cardinal. The northern cardinal is known for its strong personality. Both males and females sing, which is uncommon among many bird species. Their songs are used to defend territory and communicate during the breeding season. These birds are also extremely territorial, and many will attack their own reflection in windows or car mirrors, sometimes for hours, thinking it is a rival. The bright red color of the male is closely linked to carotenoids in its diet, so the intensity of its feathers can reflect the quality of its food and habitat. At number 5 is snowy owl. The snowy owl is unusual because it is a daytime owl. It lives and hunts in the Arctic, where summer brings 24 hours of daylight, unlike many owls that are active mostly at night. Its life is closely tied to the population cycles of lemmings. When lemmings are abundant, snowy owls lay more eggs and raise larger broods. When lemming numbers drop, they must switch prey. Oh, and sometimes large movements happen in winter. During these events, known as eruptions, snowy owls suddenly appear much farther south, such as in Canada, the northern United States, or similar latitudes. To survive the extreme cold, their legs are covered in thick feathers that act like natural snow boots, helping reduce heat loss and grip icy ground. At number 4 is helmeted hornbill. The helmeted hornbill has a unique and heavy casque on top of its beak that is much more solid than those of most hornbills. Because this casque can be carved like ivory, the species has become a major target of illegal hunting. These birds mainly eat forest fruits, especially figs, and they help spread seeds over long distances, playing an important role in forest regeneration. During breeding season, the female nests inside a large tree cavity and seals herself inside with a wall of mud and debris. From that point on, she and the chicks depend completely on the male, who brings food for many weeks. At number 3 is Replendant Cressel. The Replendant Cressel is famous for its shimmering emerald green feathers and deep red belly. It is often seen as a symbol of the cloud forests of Central America, and when these forests are fragmented, the species is usually one of the first to disappear. Quetzals feed heavily on fruits from the laurel family, swallowing them whole and spreading the seeds through the forest, which makes them quiet but important forest planters. They also have very strict nesting needs, relying on cavities in large decaying trees, meaning they depend strongly on old-growth forests. They are also known to be extremely difficult to keep in captivity, and there has long been a belief that if confined, they may refuse to eat. At number 2 is marvelous spatula tail. The marvelous spatula tail is one of the most unusual hummingbirds in the world. The male has 2 outer tail feathers that are almost bare along the shaft and end in small spoon-shaped tips, which it uses during courtship displays. When performing, several males may gather in the same area and show off for females. They dart forward, hover in place, change direction suddenly, and shake their spoon-shaped tails like tiny props in an aerial performance that tests their speed, control, and endurance. This species lives only in a very small area on the eastern slopes of the Andes in northern Peru, and scientists estimate that only a few hundred to fewer than 1,000 adult individuals remain. Finally, the most beautiful and remarkable bird on this list is the bird of paradise. Birds of paradise are not only stunning in appearance, some species also represent the peak of courtship evolution. The Wilson's bird of paradise has bright, colorful feathers, curved tail plumes, and a striking patch of bare skin on its head that looks almost polished. During mating season, the male carefully clears a small patch of ground like a stage, then performs an intricate dance to attract a female. The species lives only in a small part of the Raja Ampat Islands, so even though it is not extremely rare, it is still vulnerable to forest loss and is often listed as near threatened. The red bird of paradise is known for its bright red feathers and 2 long, curved tail wires that look like decorative ribbons. During its display, the male moves and positions its body so the feathers ripple and shimmer, creating a striking signal in the dark forest. The greater bird of paradise has long flowing plumes that look almost like a golden cloak. During courtship, many males gather in one display area called a lek. Each male tries to choose the best position and perform the most impressive dance to win the attention of the female. See, the superb bird of paradise may look simple when standing still, but when it begins its display, the transformation is dramatic. Its velvety black feathers and shimmering blue patch create a powerful visual illusion. The male carefully controls the distance and angle toward the female so the display appears as striking as possible. Nature is truly extraordinary. Some birds turn courtship into a test of skill. Others evolve specialized tools like powerful beaks to unlock tough food sources, and some survive only because of a narrow strip of forest along a mountain stream. Sadly, many species do not disappear because they are weak, but because the stage they need to live naturally is disappearing. They lose the large trees they need for nesting, the forests that spread seeds, and the waters that help raise their young. Hopefully, each of us can contribute in some way to protecting the natural world, so future generations will continue to discover these amazing wonders. Goodbye, and I will see you in the next videos.